Hi everyone. Today we are going to discuss about the details of deleted syllabus for academic year 2020 and 21 due to pandemic COVID-19. So in geography section there are totally 6 lessons are there. So resources and development, and the second lesson that is deleted. The name of the chapter is Forest and Wildlife Resources. The Forest and Wildlife Resources deleted by CBSE board. And the third chapter, Water Resources, and this chapters, so we are going to consider for only the map. And this chapter is not going to assess for annual examination and as well as for period test also. And again agriculture is there. And fifth chapter, minerals and energy resources. And this chapter also we are not going to assess in periodic test and as well as for board examination also. And this is considered for only the map. And sixth chapter, manufacturing industries and lifelines of national economy. So these four chapters, usually first chapter, fourth chapter, sixth chapter, and seventh chapter. So we are going to learn for academic year 2020 and 21 and water resources and minerals and energy resources. These two chapters only for map purpose. Is it clear now? And let us discuss about the deleted syllabus of history. In history, there are three sections: section 1, section 2, and section 3. In section 1, events and processes. Here, there are two chapters: the rise of nationalism in Europe, and the another one chapter, nationalism in India. And in section 2, again there are two chapters under livelihoods, economies, and societies: the making of a global world and the age of industrialization. And under section 3, everyday life, culture, and politics, here print culture and the modern world chapter is there. So, in this syllabus, dear students, we are going to study only two chapters for annual examination. So, please make it clear, out of all these chapters for this academic year, we are going to study only two chapters which are under events and processes. That is the rise of nationalism in Europe and nationalism in India. These two chapters are compulsory for annual exam. And section 2, livelihoods, economies and societies. Here there are two chapters: the making of a global world and the age of industrialization. In these two chapters, we are going to assess any one theme, whether the making of a global world or the age of industrialization. So only for periodical assessment, and this chapter will not come to board examination. And under section 3, print culture and modern world, and the modern world, this chapter is completely deleted by the CBSE board. So is it clear that the rise of nationalism in Europe and nationalism in India? So we are going to learn these two chapters only for annual examination. And in these two themes, we are going to learn any one theme for only periodical assessment, and print culture and the modern world. This chapter completely deleted by the board. I hope it is clear. And now we are going to explain about the deleted syllabus from the economic section. In economics, there are totally 5 chapters. Here, first 4 chapters are compulsory, and all these 4 chapters are going to assess in board examination. And the last chapter, consumer rights, deleted by the board. So, please Make it clear. First chapter development and sectors of the Indian economy, money and credit, and globalization and the Indian economy. So these four chapters are going to be evaluated in board examination for academic year 2020 and 21. And the last chapter, consumer rights, it is deleted by the board. And let us see political science. In political science, there are totally 7 lessons. In this lesson, already it is deleted last year itself only. That is challenges to democracy. In out of 7 lessons, so for this academic year, we are going to study only 4 chapters. So first chapter power sharing, and the second chapter federalism, and the sixth chapter political parties, and the seventh chapter outcomes of democracy. Except these chapters, remaining chapters are deleted. So please make it clear. Here the deleted chapters are democracy and diversity, gender, religion and caste, popular struggles and movements. So these 3 chapters are so removed by CBSE board. So for this academic year, political science, we are going to learn only 4 chapters. They are power sharing, federalism, political parties, and outcomes of democracy. I hope, dear students, you all of you understand about the deleted syllabus for academic year 2020 and 21. And let us going to discuss about the power sharing. Previous years, we learnt about the different forms of the government. For example, dictatorship, military government, monarchical type of government or kingship. See, in these types of government, the state power or the political power or the power of the government, it's completely rest with the single person or the group of the person. But in democratic form of the countries, the sharing of power, it is essential, and even it is very important also. Power sharing refers to the government power is shared between different organs of the government, or it may shared between different levels of the government. For what? So to run the smooth way or the functioning smooth way, so it is essential. So it is actually one of the most significant feature of the democratic system of the government, that is about power sharing. Here in this chapter, we are going to start to learn about power sharing with 2 examples, Belgium and Sri Lanka. See, in these 2 countries, there are different ethnic groups, especially the different language speakers. So, in Belgium, how the leaders they solve their ethnic problems, and in Sri Lanka, how the leaders they are going to be dominated the other linguistic or diverse linguistic diversities people. So, by studying these 2 examples, at the end we can understand about the needs of power sharing in a democratic system. Now, let us discuss about the ethnic composition of Belgium. In previous class, I already explained about the meaning of ethnic, a social division based on shared culture. That's we used to call as the ethnic. So in a society, there we can see the diverse people, those who are speaking different languages, and even they are following the different religious customs, tradition, or the culture also. So all these are the different, the diverse people, they are living together in a society. So that used to call as in simple way a social division based on shared culture. And now let us discuss about the ethnic composition of Belgium. So in Belgium, there are French speakers, Dutch speakers, and German speakers. So look at this concept now. So there are French speakers, Dutch speakers, and German speakers. There are 40% of the people, those who are speaking French language, so they live in a Wallonia region. And those who are speaking Dutch language, that is about 59%, and those people they live in a Flemish region. And the remaining 1% of the Belgians, they are speaking German language. If we will come to the capital city of Belgium, that is the Brussels. So the ethnic composition of Brussels, it is also too different. Here, the French-speaking people are 80% and Dutch-speaking people are only 20%. So please look here the comparison in capital city and as well as so in throughout country. So in capital city, the Dutch people are minority one and they are constituted throughout the country so as the majority one. And here the French speakers, those who are considered as the minority in the Belgium, they are politically, educationally, economically so strong compared to the Dutch speakers. Because the Dutch community people they got opportunities much late, especially in education field also, and even in political field also. And this lets the conflicts between the two major ethnic groups among French speakers and Dutch speakers. Yeah, especially during 1950s and 1960s, it's more acute in a Belgium country. So, how the Belgium leaders they solve their ethnic problems that we are going to discuss in the next class. That is called as the Belgium model of the government. They solved very smooth way by sharing power in the government. They are giving the equal opportunities, equal rights for the minority community French speakers also. Yeah, this is what the Belgium leaders taken a different steps to solve their ethnic problems. And before us, there are the another one example that is about Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka also it is a small island country, and let us discuss about the ethnic composition of Sri Lanka. Look here, the ethnic composition of Sri Lanka. Here, 74% of the people they are speaking Sinhala language and almost all these 74% of the people are Buddhist and there are 7% of the people so those who are speaking both Tamil and Sinhala language and they are belongs to Christian religion. They are Christians and yeah there are Tamil language speakers. Among these Tamil language speakers, there again we can see two subgroups Indian Tamils and Sri Lankan Tamils. So, there are about 5% of the Indian Tamils and 13% of the Sri Lankan Tamils, and also these Sri Lankan Tamils called as the native Tamils. So here, these Indian Tamils, 5%, so they are mostly Hindus and Muslims. Actually, these Indian Tamils, whose forefathers are came to Sri Lanka during colonial period as a plantation workers. So this is about the ethnic composition of Sri Lanka. So here the majority community is Sinhala speakers especially those who are Buddhist. And here the minority community people are Tamil speakers. So here always in a government, the Sri Lankan leaders, especially the Buddhists, those who are speaking Simhana language, so they are going to dominate over the Tamil speakers. And the result of this, in Sri Lanka, there was the conflicts between, there is a violence between these two language speakers. I mean, these two language communities, Buddhist versus Tamil speakers or other the rest of the religious peoples. And this struggle is continuously goes on, and even the Simhana speakers, they are not ready to give more opportunity or equal opportunities for the other people, those who are minorities, especially the Tamil speakers. So that was the result of this. So there are so many political organizations, medias, and there are so many movements on they have struggled for to get equal political rights and to get equal opportunities in Sri Lanka. So they are finally demanded for separate Edom also, which is called as a Tamil Edom. Edom means separate state. I mean Edom means state. They are demanded for separate state, especially the one of the organization LTTE. The meaning of LTTE or mean the full form of this Lanka Tamil Tiger Era. So this organization become a very strong and powerful, and they are demanded for separate state in Sri Lanka. So now let us discuss about how the Belgium leaders through amendment of their constitutions, how they are arranged their power sharing system and how they solved their ethnic problems and how they are become the model for the rest of the democratic government. So let us discuss about the Belgium model of the government. See, the Belgian leaders, they recognized the existence of the existence of especially regional differences and cultural diversity. So the Belgium leaders, so they accepted or they recognized the existence of regional diversities and the cultural diversities, regional difference and cultural diversities. And between 1970s and 1993, the Belgium leaders there amended their constitution 4 times. By amending their constitution, they brought a lot of changes in power sharing system in a government. So this is the Belgium model of the government. So there is the central government. So what is special in this central government? Here the Dutch speakers and the French speaker ministers, especially the ministers of French speaking and Dutch speaking, shall be equal in the central government. Is it clear now? So the ministers are Dutch speaking and French speaking. So they must equal their number. I mean equal in the central government. And the another one thing here, there is a two state governments in two regional of state government in Belgium. So here the most of the powers given to the state government by the central government. Here, these state governments are not subordinate to the central government. So please make it clear, the state governments, they are not subordinate to the central government. And here, the another one important thing that is about the capital city of Brazil as separate government. In a capital city, Brussels, there is the separate government. So here also the same. The French people accepted the equal numbers of the equal numbers of the Dutch speaking ministers. Here the French speakers accepted the equal number of representation in the capital city, and here the same the Dutch speakers also the accepted equal number of ministers in central government. And another one important thing, so there is the another government which is called as community government. It is actually one of the special which is introduced by the Belgium leaders. So in this community leaders, there are only the representatives, those who are elected by only their respective language speakers. So please make it clear, the community government is there, and in this government all representatives are elected by only those respective language speakers, and this community government has a special power on, especially regarding language and even religious aspects and cultural items. So please make it clear, the community government has power about only cultural, language and religion issues only. Is it clear now? And this is called a Belgium model of the government. There will be a central government where the ministers, the number of ministers are equal, both the Dutch and French speakers. And there will be the state government. So the state governments are the most of the powers are handed over to the state governments, and even in this state government, the state governments are not subordinate to the central government, they are independent. And again, there is a separate government for capital city also. In this capital city, again, the number of ministers in governments, the Dutch and French, they are equal representatives. And another one government which is going to take care about cultural issues, language issues, and other religious issues. So, which is called as the community government. And here, the representatives of this government, so elected by only those who are speaking the respective language, and that doesn't matter where they live. There is no matter where they live throughout the country, so only the respective language speakers, so they are choosing or electing so their representatives for this community government. So dear students, by arranging like this system, by bringing like this changes in the government, so the Belgium become a model for the rest of the government. When all the European countries, when they were came together as a union, when they were formed the European Union, the Brazil has chosen as the headquarter for the European Union, and that shows that the significance of the Belgium model of the government. Especially, so in all other democratic countries, we cannot see like this system. It is one of the innovative. It is one of the innovative and model for the other democratic countries. Thank you. So next class we are going to discuss about why power sharing is desirable in a democratic form of the government. Is it understood now? So the next topic, so why power sharing is desirable, especially in a democratic countries. So let us discuss about in the next class this topic. I hope you all of you understand about the whatever I explained. If you have any queries, doubts, please you can send me a message or even you can call me, and please try to clear your doubt. Thank you. Have a nice day.